The first thing we're going to do is get our green backdrop out. Um, okay, hold on. Okay, yeah, this is when the backdrop started to fall apart. And so I kind of had to scramble and think of an alternative. So I decided, instead of dealing with the broken grass wall, I will. Oh, it's really coming apart. I was thinking I should just move on to blowing up balloons while I figure out another solution. So we're gonna start blowing up our 5-inch balloons. I'm gonna do a rope method, but for right now, we're just going to blow up all of our 5-inch of the same color and turn and connect them by tying them together. And we're making pairs right now of our, I believe this is Kiss Me Pink by Prisma or Prima. Um, and I don't know how many balloons I blew up, but I'm going to connect them using a rope method by taking two 260s. This is just the Prima Clear 260s. And we're going to stretch them out and tie them together at the ends. Either double or triple tie them so they stay secure. And then we're just going to use the 260 as kind of like your fishing line. And we're going to tie one end by squeezing out all the air and then double tying it to the balloon, leaving it a little bit of a neck so we can connect it to our garland later. And we're just going to crisscross. So we're going to crisscross and then wrap around and then pull up tightly in the middle, crisscross the balloons, the balloon pair, wrap around and crisscross in the middle. And we're just going to keep doing that method until we get to the end of our string. Now, I've never done this method for a client before, so it's the first time I'm doing it for a client. I've done it for myself, but I was debating on if I wanted to like make all the balloons the same size. So this is more of an organic rope instead of, and then you're just going to continue doing that with all of your colors. So this is the Deluxe Turquoise, and then this is the Deluxe Peach Blush, I think. I'll have the brands and the sizes down below. Next, we're moving on to our larger balloons. So the Deluxe Turquoise I had in 3 sizes. So I'm using a combination of the 24-inch and the 18-inch and tying them together in pairs as well. And I'm sizing them to 2 different sizes for each pair just to make the garland look more organic. I have the Deluxe Turquoise in like a mid-level size, so I wanted to add these Prima 18-inch turquoise to the garland instead of using like the 11-inch that I had, because I just felt like for some reason the color of the Deluxe Turquoise that I had in the other brand didn't match the 24-inch, even though they were the same brand. So right now I'm just blowing up my mid-sized balloons, and see right here you can kind of see that these are 2 different colors, and so that's what made me use the Prima, because I was just like, okay, I can't really do that. And so you just want to continue blowing up your mid-size and large balloons to different sizes and pairing them together. So this is the Kiss Me Pink and Prima as well. And I believe these were all 18 inches. I didn't have 11-inch for this. So I just kind of tried to size them different sizes to make them look more organic and twist them together. And we're just making quads for right now. And then for the peach blush, I only had 11-inch as my second size. So that was going to be like my accent color. So I wasn't too worried about how many of these I blew up, because I wasn't going to be using that many of them. But I did make maybe like a cluster of 8, 2 clusters of 8 for the peach blush. just as like a starting point because I felt like that was probably the best numbers wise. Now we're on site at the client's house in her gazebo, and she rented this chair from us, and then we're also doing a garland. So I just put all the balloons in all the quads in the bag, and then I just was tying the balloons on site and shaping everything on site because I wasn't sure exactly how I was gonna position everything. Me and the client talked about the grass wall like not coming together, and so she said it was fine because her friend had already hung up this heart backdrop in the gazebo, and then had bought some other balloons, which you'll see later. So I was just like, okay, perfect. Like this replaces the grass wall and I don't have to worry too much about it. So I just started to make my base, and I was basically going for like a blue, peach, pink because I didn't really want too much of the peach, even though I feel like the peach really did bring out the pink in the chair and the gold in the chair, but I didn't want too much of that color because I don't know. I'm just not a fan of this color. I don't know why. So I'm just tying the quads as they come out and then adding them to my base. And um, I did the first like color combo up one set. I think I did two sets of the color combo, the blue, peach, and then pink. And then what did I do? Oh, and then I did the peach again after the pink to kind of make it a mirrored pattern on the other end because that got us to the top of the backdrop. And then this is what I was talking about. The guests or the client guest, which was her friend, she brought these balloons, which also took a lot of my setup time trying to detangle them because and they were trying to blow away, so I had to stuff some of them inside the balloon bag that I had, and it was supposed to say kiss my 30s goodbye, but it was just really a hard time trying to get all the balloons untangled, and then I had to cut down some of the string. So this is where I added that was like really a big hassle. This is where I added the balloon rope. And so I think next time I do this, I'm not going to make it as long. I had this idea in my head to make it kind of look like ice cream or like candy, because of the colors. The colors kind of reminded me of like like bubble gum and stuff. So I had this idea to like make it look like it was like bubbly, and that's why I made the balloon rope so long, but then I just really didn't like how it looked. I think the size of the balloons were just too big for the rope. And then I think definitely next time I'm going to use a balloon sizer because I feel like maybe just making them maybe 3 inches or 4 inches big would make the garland look a little better aesthetically. But the client was happy with how everything turned out. Over to the right, you can see like a video of the full garland because I forgot to take a picture until like with my camera. So if you guys like this video, if you learned anything, let me know, and I will see you in my next one.